winning the lottery. Oh man, wouldn't it just be great? You just wake up, you think about it, that one chance. And you know that if you had it, you'd be able to do the right things with it, you'd be able to make it last forever. You do this, you do that. I sure as hell know if I got it, if I got $1 million, if I got $750,000, if I got $500,000, or even 100,000 or 10,000 or $1,000, even if I just, winning the lottery could be something small, but we're thinking something big here. I would make that last forever. Now, here is my plan, and here's what I would do. I'm not going to try and get too specific into the financials, but I would find a place to keep it. Okay, basically, I'm not going to touch any of the money for a while. I'm just going to try and forget about it. I'm just going to try and go on with my life like it would have been normal, not let anybody else know about it, so nobody treats me differently, expects anything from me, or just has any interference with my relationships or my life or my current lifestyle. Once I mature enough to handle that amount of money, once my relationships or, maybe I can slowly build them up to my wealth or whatever, then okay, all right, it's good. But, sorry, I gotta remember what else I was gonna say. But I would put it into like an investment account where I could get, like 3 to 5 to 6% on it every year, hopefully. That's the hope. Or, yeah, pretty much. I wouldn't want to throw it into a Roth because I wouldn't want to, touch it when I'm 65. If it's a big amount of money, I want to retire early. I'm okay living with not that much money so I can retire early. But yeah, so I'd put it away. And depending on how much money it is, like if it was like $5 million or even $1 million, honestly, I would put it away for a while, not tell anybody, and I think I would just start doing volunteering work. I mean, people could probably catch on pretty quick about what happened, but I really think, instead of like working for money, I'd just go out and see who needs help. It would just feel really good. It would help people out. It would keep your purpose. It would build you connections, and I'm sure people are going to be asking, how do you find the time to do this? You just tell them you're good. You just tell them you're good, man. Man, I'm good. I'm good. I ain't got to worry no more. So, what a wonderful, wonderful ability it must be to have that. I'm good, man. I don't got to worry no more. I'm good, man. I don't have to worry anymore. My family doesn't have to worry anymore. My family's family don't have to worry no more. Check out this butterfly I found the other day. Pretty sick. This bee. But yeah, man. So, people who hit the lottery, it almost feels like it's not a real thing that happens, but it is a real thing that happens. And, God bless to whoever that happens to. Now, I know bad things can happen to people when they hit the lottery, but so I've heard it's not the majority. The actual majority is that it shows, it gives people longer, healthier, and happier lives. Really, that's just what I'm looking for. Now let's game plan what we would do if or when I get to use basically all my money. Let's say, I would honestly probably say where I start cashing out, where I start getting crazy, probably around $10 million, if it accrues that much over my lifetime, or if I keep working, if I keep working throughout my lifetime and adding to it and compounding. I think what I would probably do is I would probably get one property in my home, which is Pennsylvania. I'd get a very, very nice property here. It doesn't need to be very big. I want it to be sort of private, but be around where I grew up. And then I would probably like to get another like beachfront property in Florida. And that would probably cost a lot of money. Maybe it doesn't even need to be beachfront, but I would like a nice piece of property there. It could be very small. It could literally just be like a small house. That's all I need. And here on the piece of land, I would build, basically, I'm in love with big open living spaces. So I think I would just pay people to build a giant warehouse, and I would want the whole thing in like panoramic, roof, ceiling, glass windows, basically. I just want the whole thing to be glass, and it's just like a big open, building. That's where I live. And yeah, it would be cool to have cool cars, I guess. I mean, I have a few in mind, but I don't think, I think if I was gifted the lottery, I feel like a lottery win, it would be wasted on cool cars and this and that, instead of making my future better or other people's future better, including my family. Because, when somebody wins the lottery, especially like the Powerball, man, they can set their family up forever. Literally, like when people are living on Mars and the moon and this and that, they're still gonna have, man, if they do it right, it's just generational wealth. It doesn't go away, it doesn't change, unless all of the children that you birth are little, screw ups. And it's inevitable that whatever family has a crap ton of money that happens to, it's just maybe it's just a sort of God's way of balancing things. But yeah, guys, I mean, that is what I would do. That's where my head's at with the lottery. But I don't know what impression I'm doing, but that's what I would do. Okay. And I would go to a financial advisor first and, ask them. I would talk to them for like days and days and days and days, and we would see. But yeah, that's what I would do if I won the lottery.